Hello, everybody. Bound Mimic back for The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, episode 35. It has been significantly longer since my last episode than I intended, because it turns out that when you're away, it helps to have a microphone if you still intend to do this. So, but that's all in the past. Why? Because I said so. And what are you gonna do about it? And on that note, we're going to continue with challenges because, well, hey, why not? So, I didn't actually roll any dice, so I'm just going to pick one. How about the solar system? That sounds like a fun one. It's interesting enough. Beelzebub, that's the Flies one, isn't it? Wasn't it Lord of the Flies before? I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. It's not the, Whoa. Ah. That was unintended. But at the same time, it lets me kill him very quickly. Case in point. See, that's the wonder and majesty of distant admiration? I think that's what it's called. We're only going to Mom's heart, so I don't need to be horribly careful, but I do still need to be careful. Know what I mean? Oh, I'm shocked that did not hurt me. Frankly, I probably didn't deserve that. I did deserve that, however. It also means a significantly lower chance of a double deal. I'm okay with that, though. It's not like there's a whole lot of double deals that have been useful to me anyway. I guess. It leaves creep behind bombs. It's not really useful. That was useful. Rarely is, Lord of the Flies, or Beelzebub as it's apparently now called, so useful. I probably should have checked this out, in which case I would have known that it couldn't have been there. The secret room, that is. But, well, that didn't happen. C'est la vie. Life goes on. How am I supposed to beat the hunt like this? I can't use distant admiration. I have to use forever alone. Mostly because, well... don't want to get that close to the haunt. For example, that's part of why. But then again, it seems to be working fine so far, so who knows, really. See, in the end, it all worked out. Squeezy. Well, that's good it's good if for no other reason. Then it means I have a much higher chance of getting a devil deal this next floor. And while, as I said, devil deals aren't the most useful thing in the world to me right now, it's better than nothing. Something that it does might be useful, right? Right? I could probably be burning through these not so quickly because I want to see if I can find BFFS in a shop or something. But I don't exactly have a lot of money or ways to get money. I mean, it's only now that I got 2 more bombs, which means I can find another... Well, not another, find a secret room since I haven't found one yet. That's probably my best bet for getting BFFS at this point. Either that or getting really lucky and getting... Well, no. I don't think I can get a golden poop since I have nothing to shoot from me. There we go. Now what's to the west here? Yeah, so it seems to be my best bet, other than randomly getting a... a dime somewhere along the line. Just suppose you could. It's one way to do this. But... really, secret rooms are going to be what I'm looking for the most. Okay, bombs. I don't know why I'm blowing this up. I guess maybe I'll drop a meme mush. Or that. It's more useful than Bob's bladder right now. Yeah, I'm just going to save this other one. Luck up. One of the few useful pills. Or not worthless pills, I should say. Okay, judgment. I'll save it for when I can blow something up. Ugh. There you are. Keep going. There's no point looking elsewhere, because what else is there to find? Shop, I guess, but I don't have money for it. That's worthless. I just can't think of reason to. Ugh. Don't worry, I can get him to blow it up. Probably. Ugh. There we go. See? I knew I could do it. I did not think that would happen. On the bright side, when this is over, I'll get another orbital. Which is really good, considering orbitals are the only way I can do damage. And since this involves me getting up close and personal with a lot of enemies, some way of dealing damage to them when they are so up close and personal would be nice. That's one thing I could be looking for at a double deal. Sacrificial Dagger. Did I unlock that? I think I did. Ah. Yeah, because I did Darkest Falls. Of course I did. And I don't think you can play anything that has something unlocked that you don't have. That is to say, if you haven't unlocked something that's used in challenge, you can't play that challenge. That's why Family Man is locked, despite not being that great of a challenge. Whew. Well, I guess I'll get to see what's in here. No, I'm not falling for your trap this time. I know that's worthless. Probably. Possibly. Might do something else. But I'm not gonna fall for it. I may as well fall for this, however. Blowing things up never went bad for me. Neither did donating blood. There's no way this can go wrong. To be fair, donating blood has always worked out for me. I've donated by now, what? About a gallon of my own blood? Something like that. I got some special pin, but I have no clue what happened to it. Ah! But apparently the Globins don't respect that. They see no value in it. No value to society. It's just a sign of how Globins are really a part of what's making America weaker nowadays. They don't care for their fellow man. Or something to that effect. Something to demonize them while making me look as good as possible. Because everyone knows I am the greatest being that ever lived. Who never makes a mistake except for right there when I did make a mistake. But not really a mistake, because I just made it to keep up the tension in this. I mean, it wouldn't be entertaining if I just simply defeated everything without touching a single enemy, would it? No, of course not. I do it all for you. Okay. Ooh, Satanic Bible. One of the few activated items that's kind of useful for me. Actually, that's a lie. Most activated items would be useful for me, since most of them don't require you to shoot tears. I don't know if things like, I don't know, Bob's Brain are effective or not. They could be like... not Bob's Brain. Bob's Rotten Head. It could be like Mom's Knife, where it doesn't actually... where it only fires in a single direction, you can't change it. Actually, that it doesn't fire at all, and it only faces... Well, no, that would make sense. I assume it works, because I don't see why it wouldn't. Candle... that sort of thing. It might not work. It would make sense for it not to work, but at the same time I could also see it working, if only to give you an advantage if you so happen upon one. On the other hand, like I said, it makes perfect sense if it doesn't. I'll keep Algiz. Algiz. I don't know how you pronounce things. Oh, it turned the flies into that. That's why. I was wondering why there was a sudden flux of those. It's because it turned all the blood pellets, or whatever you call them. And it's because I blew them up accidentally without even realizing it. Not that there's another way to accidentally do something, but... Alright, what boss am I fighting? Ah, the indomitable Gurdy. So apparently, spawn flies do not fall under the... Or do they? The Hooters don't, but it seems like the black flies do. Okay, that's interesting to note. Ha, take that. I did that on purpose so I could harm you with my body. I'm pretty sure that's worthless. I'll take it. Higher chance of devil deals is nice. Even if I do screw up at some point, which is inevitable. I will point that out. Although with Satanic Bible, I'm in a much better position. Since it is quite possibly a fantastic item. Not even quite possibly, it is a fantastic item. Faded Polaroid. Never used that one. I forget what it does. I don't know. I find it odd that it doesn't apparently have any significance to the game. At large. It's like both the Polaroid and Negative do. They're very significant as items. Yet the Faded Polaroid doesn't. Maybe I missed some development in the past couple weeks or something when I wasn't paying attention. Unlikely, I know, but bear with me, it is a hypothetical. Alright. Now that I'm done with this, I can move... Ooh, keys that I don't really need for anything, but... Well, that's just how it goes. What's up this way? Alright. Gotta kill him, and almost got it. Take that. Where is the shop? The shop is over here. That probably wasn't worth it. The lovers, that also wasn't worth it. Yeah, this entire thing was pointless except for the spirit heart, which is actually rather valuable. So I'm not sure why I'm insulting the shop so much. Just it was actually kind of useful, but we'll leave that for history to discuss. For now, I just need to destroy It Lives. Almost. There we go. Where did that Globin come from? Can they just spawn those? It seems like a possibility. Especially since I never keep them alive long enough to find out something like that. These are probably the most hated enemies of mine to attack with something like the attack flies, because you never know when they're going to attack you. You have to get in close to them, and they can randomly attack you and make your life miserable. Which is bad. Very, very bad. Or at least mildly annoying. That's also a possibility. Where is that secret room? Probably in one of the other areas I didn't check. I've stopped caring since there's only one more shop anyway. There's not a whole lot else that secret room could have. I mean, sure, it could have an item, but since when is there an item in a secret room? Let's face it. There's a reason most of us had to purposefully seek them out when trying to do real Platinum God before Afterbirth. Now, with Chaos being a thing, that's less necessary, but... Ah. And the heart is dead. The moon. May as well check it out. I was right, it was this one. That's worthless. That was very useful. Basically in this case, a better version of Balls of Steel. Infested? Why didn't it make this noise? I like the voiceover. I like his inflections. The infested? Just like that slight upturn at the end of it. It's really cool. I don't know, I like things like that in a voiceover. My other favorite thing is when a voice actor does multiple versions of the same character. So like they have several distinct personalities despite clearly being the same character. This is most common in when a character has another personality if it's done well. It's not usually done well, but it's possible for them to do it well. But it was also famously done by Mel Blanc. Well, when he did Wabbit, that one episode, Wabbit Season, that everyone knows from the series. The idea was like, he had Bugs pretending to be... I don't think I can use the baby. I can't remember. Actually, it's entirely possible I can, because Family Man's a thing. Oh, well. Go big or go home, I say. Anyway, in Wabbit Season, he played he had Bugs Bunny pretend to be Daffy Duck, and Daffy Duck pretend to be Bugs. Now, given that he voices both characters, it would be really easy for him to just do a perfect copy of both voices, and I imagine that's what a lot of voice actors would do. But Mel Blanc isn't most voice actors. He instead did an impression of Bugs doing an impression of Daffy, and vice versa. Meaning he needed 4 distinct voices that were all similar in very different ways. Which I think is really cool. I always like that sort of thing. There are other examples, but I don't feel like going through them, because I think I've talked enough about the wonders of voice acting for now. For now! But know that my heart will not be silenced. I shall let loose all... And that's kind of where I lost track of the monologue. Mostly because I'm trying not to get hit by greed more than I'm already getting hit. It's very difficult, considering I'm not known for my dodging skills all the time. Occasionally I do some good things, but occasionally is not often enough. I may as well, since I have the hearts in the next room. And experimental treatment. That's not really worth it. There's only a very small number of stats I really care about right now. Ah! Very accurate. Only a handful of stats I really like right now, and even if there is the chance I would get upgrades to them, but the chance of me getting downgrades to them is all too likely. Don't really need the moon, and I'd rather have algaes. If I use that during It Lives, it's basically over. Especially since it's fantastic with orbitals. Which does more damage. The Distant Admiration? Ooh, I saw where the boss room was. That's all that's important. I suppose I can go for the shop. I didn't know that was the skeletal hand. I'm glad I dodged it. Getting hit by it is not fun. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but at most it can do 1 damage. I don't actually know how much it does since I've never actually been hit by it. Just by its shockwaves. I don't even know how much that does, mostly because I didn't really pay attention. Because believe it or not, I don't really care how much damage it does. I just want to not get hit by it at all. Nightlight. Does that even work? I don't know. It's my last shop. I may as well use it. It does work. Why do I keep getting the moon? It's the 3rd time I've gotten the moon. Oh, I have full health. I didn't realize. Okay, that's nice. North, I guess. It's as good as any other direction. Nightlight's better than nothing. It's not very useful when I'm never facing the same direction, as I found out in previous ones, but especially since I tend to circle strafe, it's not very good for me. But it's good for no other reason than it's a thing that exists and doesn't harm me in any way. And that I define that as being useful. Oh, I'm already on Mom? That's right, I am on Death's 2. Huh. Or Crypt 2, or... not Crypt. Crypt is the other one. Necropolis. That's what I'm looking for. I don't remember which one this is. Depths 2. I thought it was. I just second-guessed myself, and the result was temporarily wrong while I thought it was the case. I'm rambling, which I don't normally do, I know, but... Come on, you can die. There you go. I do love the fact that it gives no contact damage. Oh, I can look inside the boss rush, even though actually going inside the boss rush would be an awful, awful, awful idea. See, Gnawed Leaf, which I guess isn't bad. Oh, I was looking at it, it was like an empty spot, and I was like, wait, what? Gnawed Leaf wouldn't be bad. In fact, it would guarantee me the win, but it would make this episode very boring. I'd rather not do that to you folks. So instead, and it's only 2 more floors anyway, so hey. Plus ridiculous amounts of health, I mean, do you really think I'm gonna lose at this point? If you answered anything other than maybe, then you don't know me very well. Case in point, I already lost 2 health. And it's the first room I entered on Womb. Well, Scarred Womb, but... You know the point. At least it gave me a use of my satanic Bible. Made it actually useful. Well, it would have been useful anyway, because it would have made one of my soul hearts black. That was useful. Especially since it gave me the charge there, which means... It was basically free. Well, not really, because I would have had an extra black heart, but... I choose to make it look better than it really is. Well, at least I don't have to fight that room, see what I mean? Okay. I love how they almost stood just out of reach for me. Almost. But then they just couldn't resist. I had to get in just a bit closer. And look how well that worked out. Ow. Wow, it has more than 40 health. Or did it not just get hit by it because it was still... I don't know. I don't know how anything works. Did he get hurt by one of the spiders? Not the spiders, the pretty flies. It looked like it, but that doesn't sound right, because only flies are supposed to get hurt by it. Ha ha ha. Take that, skeletal hand. How do you make those shockwaves in water? Admittedly, one would think that it's easier to, but... This is Binding of Isaac. Not, Make Sense Land. I'm not the most creative of namers, alright? Ah, take that. It's your only attack that can harm me in any way. Since I just discovered that the, well, that wasn't supposed to hurt me, but I guess since, it had those other attacks mixed in with it, maybe it did. Because those don't seem like they can hurt me. At least I got hit by them earlier and it didn't hurt me. But maybe I was just misseeing it. And you are dead. See how that goes. It's not really that useful since it doesn't affect my flies, I don't think. I don't think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about a lot of things. I choose to believe that I'm not. Okay. I have no clue which way to go, so I'm just going to follow clockwise and hope for the best. You know, like that classic Beach Boys song. Where are the muscles going? That one, I believe, was a famous lyric from a Beatles song. That sounds about right. Everyone remembers that hit. Not much else interesting to say here. My commentary always seems to peter out around Womb 2, mostly because, well, what else is there to say? I could talk about things unrelated to Binding of Isaac, but I'm sure you know plenty of things that are unrelated to Binding of Isaac. Things more interesting than things I might say. Or possibly less interesting. I don't pretend to know your life. I mean, hey. If you want to be boring, be boring. It's a lot less of a headache than being interesting. Not that I would know. Alright. Nearly all dead. Ah, see that? They don't know where that came from. Actually, they probably know exactly where that came from, given that they have eyes, and I was literally a foot away from them. Maybe because I myself am wearing a blindfold, I couldn't tell that other people have eyes. After all, I am only a child. With a quite abusive mother. It's entirely possible that I don't realize other people have eyes. But maybe I do. You'll never know, because I'll never tell. Unless, of course, you buy my tell-all book. Wait. 1 second. Hold it. Oh, I guess not. I'll just edit out part of that, since it was not really that interesting. The screen lost focus for reasons that I am not entirely sure of. But I will pretend that I know exactly why. I figured it out, and now you'll never know, because I'll never tell. I bet you're just dying to know what happened there. It was so amazing. Elvis came back, and then I met with the ghost of John Lennon. He was pretty cool. And of course, at that point, Jesus came back and said, "Hey, I'm coming back, but only because you're playing so well The Binding of Isaac." It was really kind of awesome. But then he realized he had something else to do, and so he said, "Hey, be back in like 10. It's now been about an hour, and I haven't heard another word, so maybe he decided to second-guess himself at that point. Which I'm not too happy with, but hey. When you're Jesus, you got places to go and people to see. I guess that's just how it is. Oh, that was easy. Alright. Gotta kill these guys without getting hit. If I do get hit here, well, that's kind of sad, really. Well, it's not that sad, mostly because... Ooh, what are you? Algas. It'd be more useful if it weren't for the fact that the only boss I have left is... It lives. And it's the only thing I would really waste one of them on. Oh. I'm just gonna get out of here. What's the point of having 35 bombs if you can't use them? Ah, run away. They're everywhere. It's like zombies. Or zombie games on the Steam store. They're literally everywhere. They're all identical. And they're all incredibly annoying. Well, they're not really that annoying, since you can just ignore their existence, unlike those guys right there. They are annoying in the sense that it seems to clutter up everything, and, well, hey, you don't need clutter there. Steam can do that just well on their own, thank you very much. Without having 5 zombie crafting games. I'm sorry. Zombie crafting survival games. It's not what I would call original. It lives. Pop this. It's over. Eventually. Maybe. Actually, it's entirely possible it won't, just because I'm taking up time by doing this. But it's entirely possible I will, because, well, he's taking up time by doing that. Yep, and it's over. That was mostly uneventful. What's in here? The wafer. That would have been nice earlier. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Otherwise, I will see you next time on The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth.